Testing one, two. I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting of the Niles Main District Library on Wednesday, June 17th, 2026 at 2:01 p.m.
7:01.
What did I say?
2:01.
Is it good?
Are you pushing
7:01 p.m.
This isn't
Thank you.
At least you didn't say AM.
That's what I was thinking.
That's when it'll get done.
Trustee Sheeler?
Present.
Trustee Kadir is not here at the moment. Trustee Shonka? Treasurer Vitello is absent with prior notice. Secretary Toy?
Here.
Vice President Rosansky?
Here.
And President Key.
Here.
Thank you.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would anyone in the room like to make public comment at this time? I did not receive any other public comment.
Thank you. Oh, shoot. Would someone like to make a motion to pass the consent agenda?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not
No,
to that
anybody
spot.
can.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm trying to rush you.
that's okay.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, I can do it. I would like to move to approve the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted in one motion. There will be no individual discussion of these items unless a trustee so requested. So the first one is approval of minutes for May 20th. Second is payment of bills. Am I supposed to write?
I don't think you have to read all that.
Okay. Trustee report, treasurer's report, executive director's report, and communications and committee reports.
A second.
I would like to pull something out as far as communications, if that's okay. Sure. Not pull it out from the vote, but just talk about it. And actually, Victoria's going to talk about it. We're introducing someone. Very exciting.
So yes, it is very exciting. So we hired the new, my backfill, the new material services supervisor. It's Matthew Hendrick. If you'd like to stand up.
Hello.
Hi,
You're welcome.
My name is Matthew Hendrick. I'm the new material services supervisor. I've worked in libraries for about 10 years in Massachusetts and Tennessee. I'm happy to be here and working with Valerie and Victoria and the rest of the team, and I look forward to working with you all in the future.
Nice to meet
Welcome. Does anyone else have anything they wanted to take out of the consent agenda? Okay,
Is
Margaret. Yeah.
And Trustee Sheeler, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Kadir is not here. Trustee Shonka?
Yes.
Thank you. Secretary Toy?
Yes.
Vice President Rosansky?
Yes.
Thank you. And President Key.
Yes.
6-0, 5-0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 5-0 passes. Thank you.
Okay, now we're moving on to new business.
Mhm.
I move,
I'd like to pause it
is
before
this where
motion.
we're going to have somebody talk
Mhm.
prior to? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because I just looked, oh wait, they're supposed to talk to us.
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
So before the board moves on anything, I know the insurance update was provided to you in the packet, but I'd like to invite our liability insurance brokers up to speak. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And we do have some new board members that you may have not met before, so if you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves and talking a little bit about our history with you.
I sure will.
Thank you.
Yes. So my name is Jack Cook, and I am the president at Cook and Coker Insurance Group. Joining me today is Patrick Cook. And I have served as the insurance broker here since 2012. And today we represent over 70 libraries in Illinois. So we're the insurance broker for mostly the business insurance for all these libraries. And we, this year, at this year's renewal, as insurance brokers, we continuously have our ears to the ground from other insurance companies to find out what is going on out there. And we got a proposal this year from Hanover Insurance Company. And Hanover is going to look at they did provide a proposal for the package, which is all the building insurance, you know, your property, all the books, everything within the library, as well as the commercial general liability should somebody make a claim against the library for bodily injury or property damage. In addition, there's the umbrella policy and the auto. So they provided a proposal that was very competitive. And they're not strangers to the Niles Library because they've been writing the workers' comp for about 5 years. So they've been continuously asking us if they could provide a bid. So my recommendation was to move away from Utica National, who has served as the broker or the insurance company since 2012, to Hanover, effective this July 1st. And then in addition to that, I've also recommended that we get a standalone cyber liability policy because cyber liability seems to be the big thing as it relates to insurance companies and clients in general. So we're going to be putting the cyber liability with Travelers Insurance Company, and we'll keep you have government crime, you have they use different terms, there's treasurer's bond, it's employee dishonesty, it's crime coverage. So we have that limit at $995,000, and that's going to continue on with Travelers. So the insurance companies today will be Hanover for all the business insurance, including the directors and officers, protecting the decisions that you all make at this table. That too will be with Hanover. The workers' comp will be with Hanover, and you can see from the proposal, all included in, it was about $11,000 savings. So those are my recommendations, and I don't know if anybody looked through the proposal or through our schedule of insurance and had any specific questions for me.
All right, it might be an easy one.
I think it's good. Well, I wrote the executive summary to kind of make things a little easier to understand. And I personally want to thank Richard for picking up the call when I needed some underwriting questions answered at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so he was able to
Kind of standard for me, so.
It's not even early for you.
Could you explain the change in the cyber liability because of the really good increase in coverage?
Yes. So one of the things, these insurance companies like Utica, even Hanover to a point, a lot of them, when cyber was becoming a thing, they were throwing in these coverages as part of the package policy. And it was very inexpensive. And it was inexpensive because it was really protecting you for what they call third-party claims. Third-party claims are what you read about when Target gets exposed or gets hacked, or Home Depot, or I just read as I was walking out of my office, a big pharmaceutical company got hacked. And so that's what Utica and these companies were providing as part of their package cyber liability insurance. But what they weren't providing is what really is affecting businesses all around, and that's called first-party claims, and it's those ransom claims, those extortion, ransom, what was the other one I'm looking for? social liability, where an employee hits on a link, lets somebody come into the arena. So Travelers represents a very robust cyber liability, which covers first and third liability claims, which is why it's so important. I think I've been recommending it for a while. Yes.
Question for you. I was told by an insurance broker that there's some evidence to suggest that hackers and ransomwars will actually target people who have liability insurance. Now, how they get this information, they probably hack into insurance company websites.
Yes.
And then they find out who's got insurance, and then they hack those guys. If they're to hack a library, we have no insurance, we're gonna say, we simply can't pay you this money, we don't have it. But if we have insurance and they know we have insurance, now they're gonna come after us and say, go to your policy, get us paid.
Yeah. I heard that too once. And so it is one of those things where you're right. If they are in your systems and they can look at your policies, I don't know how they do it, that they're a little smarter than I am. However, if you don't have insurance, it makes the newspapers, and they say, so I think it's always better to provide that protection. As I always say, who do you call if you come in one day and your system is encrypted? You don't call the Niles Police Department because they don't know what to do. So when you have a good cyber liability policy, they kind of work with you. You have the management, and most importantly, they're going to find out how they got in. Mm-hmm. So important coverage. So
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is there any other questions from anybody?
Mine have been answered. I listened to others' questions.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
We'll be
Thank you
around
for
questions.
saving us some money.
Yes,
Yes.
it was great. I'm really happy we could make this switch.
It's fantastic,
Yes.
saving us money and getting us better coverage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
When does that happen?
When did you say it was effective? July 1st?
July 1st is when all the insurance changes over. Yes.
The new
So,
fiscal years.
Yeah.
Better coverage, less money.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
I
Good
hope
to see
everybody
you.
enjoys their summer.
You too?
And
Good to see you, Jess.
yeah,
See you next year.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes, now you have to vote on that one.
Yeah.
I know.
Vote on the proposal, right?
So now I move to approve action on the proposal on liability insurance renewal presented by these two fine gentlemen that were just here.
You move to approve their recommendation?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I
Thank
second.
you. I'm sorry I didn't put that word in there.
No worries.
Forgive me.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Thank you.
Any opposed?
Okay, now the next.
And we have some speakers for this one too, I think, right?
Yes.
Do we?
Mhm.
Okay. Then let them speak.
Speak now, or hold your peace.
That's what they say.
Richard, do you mind introducing us?
Sure.
Thank you.
So, do we want to put the motion on, or do we want to talk
No,
about it?
Let's talk
After they
about first
talk.
then.
Okay, all right, so we have 3 people that have been working with us for the better part of 6 months and more. We started with the architects over a year ago, working on the lower renovation, and we've been moving it to the point where we are tonight, where we have a resolution at the board's discretion to approve and to vote on to proceed with the lower level renovation. In addition to the lower level, because there were some delays, we were able to take advantage of other projects that the board had put and approved into the special reserve budget for this year into this plan. So it grew in scope, but we were able to take advantage, so we didn't have to go to multiple bids just in separate times. We were able to get 15 bids together that encompass
Covered.
everything. So millwork and electrical and whatnot, furniture as well, and other things that, if the board has additional questions or details, we can ask. So, if I can introduce Tiffany again, I don't know if you want to sit down at the board table or just ask questions here, or answer questions here, and Mark, from our Frederick Quinn, as well as Jack. So,
Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you. You want us to
Anybody wanna take the
a little
podium?
bit?
You don't want to be in the hot seats?
Or you want to go up, Tiffany, or?
It's mostly you guys.
Well, you can always.
Yeah, I
you know,
think-
I'll kind of
I
sit
think
over
if we
here.
just go over what we've done, with regards to going out to bid. So the
Okay.
last time, the board had information from us and we spoke about this, we were ready to go out to bid. So,
We'll turn the temperature down on those hot seats.
It shouldn't be too complicated.
It's not.
Just as a matter of introduction, I'm Jack Hayes. I'm the president of Frederick Quinn Corporation. Mark Winger,
Pre-construction manager.
we did our first project with Niles in 2010.
2011, 2012 completion, I
So-
believe.
Very familiar with your building. Went through the renovation before. Done a variety of facility things with Rich over the years. And Mark worked with Tiffany and her team to take the documents, vet them, make sure that we had the scope covered, and then go out and do all the bidding. So I'm gonna just let you
Okay,
take.
so, following the Illinois procurement laws there, we posted a legal notice here within the local paper there and gave the representative time of roughly 4 weeks for bidding there. We held a pre-bid meeting here in the building that was pretty well attended. As I said, there was maybe 60 contractors or so to that there. And then we solicited contractors through both. We got a lot of response from the papers there, a lot more than we typically get there. So kudos to your local publication here. And then we go through a website called Building Connected, where we have a lot of contractors we work with traditionally. And so we got pretty good bid coverage for the packages here. And some of the packages, we got electrical as an example, although we can discuss the low bid where that contractor's asking to withdraw their bid. But however, we've got, I think, 6 to 7 other bids beyond that there. So very good bid coverage in the process there. And so everything is laid out within, ultimately, we have a letter of recommendation. I'm not sure if you have that or just the resolution
They have that.
itself. So
The resolution, as well as the final budget, the detailed budget, the bid package 1 award recommendation letter, 3 pre-bids that were also as part of the project, 2 furniture and 1 door access controls, as well as the updated letter for the fees from product architecture and design.
And so I guess just to add to that in terms of the letter of recommendation is upon receiving the bids themselves there, we conduct scope reviews with the low bidders to confirm that they have the scope. The low electrical bid, which is being asked to be withdrawn there, I mean, was kind of alarmingly low. We had that conversation with them, and they made an honest mistake in that process and didn't include certain scope of work there. So, I mean, it's our recommendation, though it's your discretion whether or not to accept that withdrawal. But the number appeared to be considerably lower compared to the other numbers that were presented there. So, and then we then sat down with the second bidder and conducted that full scope review with them, and, as with everybody else, and they have that there. So,
Just addressing this point, for the boards, I definitely think we should accept the withdrawal. You don't want to try to force somebody to
No.
do work that they made a mistake on, so.
No.
And we spoke with KTJ and the library's attorneys, and they accepted your proposal to withdraw the bid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the proposal, am I supposed to do 2 separate ones? One?
It's a resolution, so you have to read the resolution. So, Yep,
And it's in there already.
yeah, it's in there. It's
I was
all,
just making sure,
You
okay.
just read the
Page
title
40.
of the resolution
the title of the resolution.
on page 40.
On page 40?
So what was the original bid from High Lift, and what did they miss in the scope? I'm just curious about that, because, it's a pretty big quote for the electrical, it's a
It's
third
right
of the
here.
whole project there.
For what Dave's talking about. It was like 62,000.
Honestly, I'm trying to recall, I'm drawing a blank at the moment. I mean, I wish it wasn't there, but I mean, I think it's something with the low voltage there in terms of what amount of cabling they had included in there, so.
Because we had added or included some of that AV
I think,
scope.
if I might, I believe the AV scope that got added on as the CMR refresh project, because that was gonna be a separate project that we were gonna go out to bid. Because of the timing, we were able to include it into this project as well. And I think they missed a portion of that. So.
Yeah,
that-
and
it
part
adds a
of,
significant-
I mean, part of the process is, this was a contract that honestly provided a budget on the initial project there. The bid, their bid is in line with that initial budget, but the scope grew considerably. So they missed it in the process that, hey, we don't have this amount of scope
Low
there, so.
voltage.
It was an oversight.
It's unfortunately, this might be more information than you want, but I don't think we've had a job that we've bid in the last 3 or 4 years that we haven't had at least one contractor do exactly this. There's just a lot of work on the street, and they're running fast and hard, and, you know, we did a job recently in Oswego, and we had 3 different bid packages we had for this same thing, so it's just a byproduct of people being busy.
Easy mistake to make, and that's partly why we hired you.
Well, and that scope review process that Mark does when he goes through, that's where these things, because many times the low bidder will call up and say, great, we got a job. And then you sit down with them and they go, oh, you know, they made a mistake. So that scope review process that follows the bid opening is a really critical step before Mark puts these letters together, so that when we do put it in front of you, you know, we have a high degree of confidence that the contractors that we're recommending understand the scope, they understand the schedule, they understand the elements of the project. That doesn't mean that there won't be things that come up during construction, which is why there's a contingency, but they've got a good understanding of the base job.
And I attended each of those, and
yeah.
I tell you that they were very thorough in their questions, and you know, really good answers, and yeah, I think really confident in the awards of the contracts for the bids that went out, the sealed bids, so, which I believe is 15.
Yeah, packages. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, now do I say it?
Does anyone have any other questions?
I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Please ask the question.
Okay. Go ahead.
Now? I move to approve the resolution accepting the withdrawal of the bid and approving the projected budget, authorizing related project expenditures, awarding construction contracts for the lower and upper level renovation projects.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Well, thank you very much,
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
We're so looking forward to getting
Yes,
started.
yes.
So, Mark, if you could just quickly say what the next process is.
Following this here, so tomorrow I'll go back to the office. We already have letters of intent written to the trade contractors that'll go out tomorrow. And then you'll engage in the contracts with them directly, but we'll write up those contracts and mail them to you.
Yeah, we'll get the contracts out to the contractors. We have them sign them first, we issue them to you. Then once the contract process is well underway, then we work with Tiffany and her team to get submittals processed so that the materials can be ordered, the products can be, put together, so that when we come in September,
Yeah.
we can start in earnest. So that's.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the project is scheduled for starting at September 1st, ending at the end of the year. So that's our timing for this. And the contracts were given to us by KTJ, so we should not have any kind of delays. awarded bidders knew that they had no negotiation with regards to the contracts. They had to accept them, and those contracts were made available in the bid package. So it was
They knew
not a
what they
surprise.
were reading.
They knew exactly what they were getting into, so
Okay.
hopefully we'll have a clean
Question.
process.
Rich, my friend.
Yeah.
And neighbor.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Appreciate the opportunity
When
to
is the
continue
elevator
our
supposed to be,
Sure. Would you like to talk about the elevator?
Sure.
Okay, so the elevator was delayed.
Making sure you're aware of it,
In
so.
manufacturing, it gets manufactured in, I believe, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
There was a delay in that, which would have put it kind of in the middle of this project.
Yes,
We talked at the management level that probably would not be a good idea.
yes.
We asked them if they could speak to Niles, who is the coding authority for the elevator,
Mhm.
and whether or not we would be able to delay it to after this project. The Village of Niles agreed, and so we have decided to push that to after the conclusion of this project, so in January.
That's what I was gonna say, so next, technically,
2027.
still the same
In-
fiscal year,
yes,
but
yes.
the beginning of the actual year.
The next calendar year, yeah.
Yes.
And
Okay.
we didn't want to send out January specifically, just in case
It goes
anything
into
goes
February.
longer
Right.
exactly for this construction.
Okay, I was just curious because of the fact it's supposed to be shut down for what, 4 or 5 weeks?
5
5
to 6 weeks.
Plus
5 to 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Longer than I thought.
Mhm.
So that might pose an issue for some people,
It will.
such as lights.
Mhm.
Okay.
Better later.
It
But
will.
at that point, they'll have a nice new lower level to, to go visit.
Well, and not only that, realistically, in the winter, that's
Mm-hmm.
probably when we would have lower numbers of people coming in anyway. So it might be to their, to okay.
If we gotta go down
Less
at some
disruptive.
point, that might be the best time to go down.
Yes,
Mhm.
yep.
So this next thing, we are having somebody talk.
We have no more guests tonight.
No, nothing else being said
No more
about
guests.
the next one? Okay, just want to make sure before I make any more proposals. And this is number C.
Correct.
Move to approve action on proposal to engage Lauterbach and Amon LLP for audit services for 3 years.
I second.
I think we've been using it for a while, they've been doing fine, so I don't see any point in really, don't rock the boat.
Agreed, and their prices did not go up very much from what they have been. It is going up year by year as opposed to the same price each year, but it's not going up by very much each year.
It's about $500.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which. Okay.
Are there any questions? Okay, Margaret, or I guess, all in favor?
Aye.
Makes it quicker, huh? See, our next thing is on page 3.
I move to, or do you want to?
You, go ahead, you
Okay.
started it, go
I
for it,
move
buddy.
to engage Western Specialty Contractors for exterior building envelope maintenance.
Second. It's a pleasure not being first.
Any questions on this one?
So this is the second go round because we did 120-some thousand before, like right when I got on the board, I remember. So what are we doing here? Because some of these pictures, I mean, I can't even see
There are
what
hairline
we're.
fractures in the masonry that we, on the first go, we took anything that had large cracks. So if you look at the first motion from this from last year, that's what was tackled. Things that were missing bricks and, gaps by the gas main that you could put your hand through. At this point, these are now the secondary, less priority, but they were still mentioned inside of the capital assessment report. And so we're following that report that we had done by Product Architecture last year. And so this is the next step in that.
Did we simply break them up to break up the expenses, or why did we break them apart? Why didn't we do it all at once?
We did not do it, we prioritized. So things that seemed like they were falling apart, there was a priority, number one, and then priority second year was to fix the rest of this.
I guess what I'm asking is, wouldn't it have been cheaper to just do it all at once?
This is pre-bid, so it's the same price.
Oh, got it, okay.
And question, is there a phase 3 on this also?
So
Or is this
if
it?
you look at the capital needs assessment, there's 20 years of work.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, is it gonna be year 1, year 2,
No,
year
this,
3?
in terms of masonry, that should conclude, hopefully for, another 10, 15 years. Things happen, bricks can crack and, joints can go bad. If there's a crack that can't be seen and water gets inside,
Then it shows
there's
then.
the way the inner and outer wall are connected, it's through a piece of metal. That metal will start rusting and then push out the joints and, so that's stuff that they're tackling now. So.
Okay, my other question is, way back, when we had a person who said use caulk, was that already taken care of? You know what I'm
So
talking
the-
about?
Part of what we did was, we put flashing that matched the
That's what I
existing
thought.
sand color, clay color, from the main doors, going, towards the north, and then coming back east to the emergency door,
Mhm.
on the north side, and so that was,
Phase 1.
that was part of phase 1. As you
I
can see
thought
that-
so, but I just making sure.
And there was a strip on the east side of exposed foundation wall that also was flashing was put on that as well.
Okay,
Mhm.
but that was,
That was part of
Phase
phase
one.
1. Yeah, all of phase 1 was completed.
there,
Yeah.
I thought so, but,
Yeah.
I like
So
being picky.
the way I've conceptualized this, the way that it was presented to me when Richard brought these forward is the phase 1 was catching up on back due maintenance that was something that this
Years.
company also, we have such a limited time in the summer to get them to come out here. That's why we couldn't do all of it at once because there was a lot of backlog. Now we're at the phase where it's managing those smaller things so that they don't have to come out and do a bigger backlog project moving forward.
We're taking care of our building.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
taking care of the
because-
building in stages. Again, there was no time to, do all of it, and so they didn't want to put all that together, and I'm like, we just can't manage it either as well, so.
Okay.
Yep.
So when is this,
It's gonna start, it's in the budget for July 1st, as part of
Okay.
special reserve.
so when the other stuff is being
But we can start
technically
now
done? Yeah,
with
which
regards
is cool.
to signing, and they can prep, and then
Mm-hmm.
once the invoices will start happening, they'll be for the next fiscal year, or
Okay,
for the next fiscal year.
thank you.
As opposed to waiting until the budget is passed, and,
Yeah, which is,
Then we
Then-
have to wait for
Give me
next
a
summer.
then we get into the fall, and then the freeze,
well,
and,
yeah,
that's
and
just,
not only that, but then they've got other jobs that came
Right,
up in
yeah.
between, so let's
So.
get her done.
yeah, and part of this is replacing doors that are facing the north side and closing up a double door that has a big crack in the garage above it, and because of the lintel just sagged, and we don't need a double door there. So
Why was there a double door there?
I'm not sure. The architect from 1997 decided that there should be a double door there for some reason. And it's not fully accessible from a standpoint that both doors are not independent of each other. They're intertwined, so you can only open one, and then you have to unlatch the other one. Yeah,
So they're more of a pain than
Moving big
necessary.
stuff in.
pretty much.
Usually the
But
other
there
reason to have
is
those
a
kind of doors.
gigantic door on the north side next to it that is like 1.5 stories tall, for the bookmobile. So I
Why
don't
need
need
it?
another door.
Okay,
Right,
It
it's
makes
like
sense.
you push the button and the big door, unwinds.
and if there's issues, like you say,
Yeah.
with the structure itself, have it fixed.
Right, yeah.
Less problems in the future.
We're excited to be at that point.
Yeah, it is exciting.
Oh, I'm
And the
glad
building
you're
looks
excited.
beautiful. The work that they have done, if you've looked at the flashing, it really has made a big
I have
Like
to
curb
admit,
appeal
I haven't
difference.
looked at it. I'll go out today and look at it.
Yeah, I mean, if we were not satisfied with them, we would be looking elsewhere, you know, whether another pre-bid or going out to bid, you know, certainly we've done that for the big project.
I saw them working on it one day outside, and I think I not scared them, but like definitely surprised them. When I walked up to them, I'm like, man, that looks really good, and they're like, oh, thanks.
It's good that,
Yeah, like,
I'll tell you, it's good it wasn't on one of the days where they were grinding out the joints, because there was a fog around this area that, you know, the dust cloud that came out of that, it was crazy, so.
I guess I was, yeah, I was the creepy patron. All right, shall we vote then?
All right.
Can I?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, next page.
Okay. I move to engage Johnson Controls Security Systems to expand the staff door access control system.
Second.
Any questions?
Nope.
Now, is this those little panels that everybody goes and
Yes.
you're putting them on more doors that,
13 more doors,
okay,
staff doors.
okay.
Will there be more after this?
That depends on, I mean,
Have we covered all of the staff doors at this point or no?
this will cover all doors that are meeting rooms, department offices, both access to both basements, the IT server room. What will not be covered, we have probably another 100 doors beyond this, that between this and the first 14. But they are things like individual office for like supervisors, which at this time we did not plan to engage to have door access controls. So the idea behind this at the first, well, there's many reasons for going to this, but one of the core goals has been to provide most of the staff with just access via a fob as opposed to a key, because the fob can be deactivated. It's much cheaper as well to purchase as opposed to a key. And there's more control, you know, in knowing who's accessed the area as opposed to a key that you have no idea.
Yeah.
Especially if it's lost, and no one knows that it's lost because maybe it's a key that they don't use. So group offices, staff areas, meeting rooms that are public meeting rooms, but also staff meeting rooms. That was the push for the project.
Because there's one out here on this door.
Yeah.
But my question is, couldn't we just have badges, where you have visitor badges, welcome badges, and then employee badges, rather than doing all this? This would be more economical.
Not sure.
I
So with a
understand.
badge,
Because
the
you could
badge doesn't
deactivate
provide
it.
you anything. What do you mean by badge?
So when, at my place of employment, we have a badge. So they take a picture of your identity, and you have access to certain locations.
How?
You scan it?
You scan it when you go into your rooms.
So this is what
Scan it.
this is.
This is
That's what this
basically
is.
the
This is
same
what this
thing.
is.
But what I'm saying is, it'd be more economical if we had those scanners where you could deactivate it and you can use visitor badges, where in case somebody's entering the location.
That's what this is though, isn't it?
Yes, this is what this is.
And, but what I'm trying to get at is, there's a difference where you don't have to spend all this money. It's a central location, and all you have to do is activate and deactivate them.
I think I understand what you mean. Is your workplace open to the public?
Yes.
So the bigger concern that came from staff was that the doors that we had for certain of the hallways that accessed emergency exits, sometimes the public could get in there, or sometimes doors were propped for volunteers because they didn't have physical keys. And so this badge system is actually doing exactly what you're saying. It's giving that level of security and that level of access to the appropriate people, to the appropriate places.
And I would think, I mean, from what I know of this, the cost is probably getting the hardware on the door, so you have
Yes.
solenoids
Yeah.
that can allow people
Doing the
in.
cards themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, running the lines.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
mostly.
The electrical.
Don't,
Yeah,
don't
low
argue with
voltage.
the engineer.
Yeah,
There you go.
the installation of the infrastructure is expensive, and now that we have it, it is much cheaper, because how much was it to replace the
It was-
key if it got lost?
As soon as he said.
It's hundreds of dollars,
Hundreds
because
of
you have to
each
buy a
time,
whole
yeah, one
set of like
physical
50
key.
of them in
Yeah.
order to get, they're high security keys that we have, and so, yeah, it pretty much costs a lot, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is central controlled and all that, we just provide both a fob and a card, so we do both. The fob is easier for people to have on their keys when they come into the building, and the cards seem to be more usable on lanyards while they're in the building, so.
Thank you.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move to approve the purchase of replacement staff and patron copiers from Konica Minolta Business Solution USA, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $52,474.49.
Second.
So,
Are there any questions on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Thank you.
I move to approve the non-resident card program for 2026-2027, for the 2026-2027 fiscal year.
Second.
Any questions or discussion?
We've talked about this
Yes,
over.
we did something that we do every year. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. All right.
Now the next is the discussion upon the draft budget.
On to Valerie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's on our
You present first, or we ask questions first?
What is your preference?
I would like you to present first, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Whatever Becky says.
So,
Teach that to my kids.
Okay, I'm looking, it's page 133.
I handed out, so I had sent to the board,
This is what she.
a chart of the line-by-line proposed budget and some notes about how the decisions for the numbers came about. And so, first, just explaining my budgeting philosophy, which is and to clarify that and distinguish that from the levy process. So, I have worked with both our accountant at Sickich and our financial advisor at Marissim Advisors to review this budget. And I worked with all of the department heads, asking them what they think they could reasonably spend to serve the public. We are almost at the staffing levels that we've been trying to build up to for the last 2 years, which is really great. And so these numbers are based on our estimated income for the coming year and a responsible recommendation for how we can spend that appropriately. So first I'll talk about our revenues. The estimate for property taxes, if you remember, Jamie Racklin from Marissim Advisors mentioned that this fiscal year, we're going to see a slight drop in property tax revenue because we had a bump due to the, right before I was hired, the 2023 approval to bring back 3 years of back taxes. And so we had a bump that is now stabilizing. So we're seeing a little bit of a difference here. Now it still looks like it's going to be higher than 25-26. The reason for that is because we have not yet this fiscal year gotten all of the money from Cook County we should have gotten. They are 8 months behind. And I don't know if you've seen the news stories about that.
Yeah, now.
And there's still a further delay, and the tax bills are going out later.
Mhm.
And so even though it's supposed to drop, it looks like it's higher because of those delays in Cook County. So that's something to be mindful of, that these estimates don't account for consistent delays from the county releasing tax funds. Our replacement taxes, we kept the estimate the same as last year. It is a very unknown amount. We usually get higher than this. We always do a conservative estimate. Property replacement, personal property replacement taxes are the taxes that are paid by businesses that otherwise take up the space where homes would be in a community to pay taxes. Our per capita grant, I actually got notice before this meeting that our per capita grant is actually going to be over $100,000. So we're getting a little bit higher. That's true for all libraries this year. Alexi Janulius and their team at the state level increased the per capita amount per person in the state. So that's great for us. This year we have applied for 3 grants, and we are not sure if we will get them, but I did put the income here because we budget for it in case we get it. If we don't budget for it, we can't necessarily use it. So we applied for $100,000 of a security grant that would help us increase safety measures such as more in-building security cameras to enhance our current system.
Is that the federal one? Because there was a federal grant.
No, this is a state level.
Okay.
Yeah, state level grant. We also applied for an additional $15,000 from Cook County to help support our really popular and very successful Learn to Own program, where people can learn how to use their laptop and then take a laptop home, which has been very beneficial in our community. And then we generally budget for $10,000 from an age options grant that is also from Cook County that supports programming for seniors and their caretakers. So the income is not guaranteed, but I did budget for it in case we get these funds. Our investment income is actually fairly conservative because we don't know where rates are going to go. We, for this year, have had more than $700,000 in investment income, but we are over the average of the past several years. We decided to keep it at $600,000. Fines, we keep at 100 just to have a line item there. We don't know how many fines will come in. We are fine free, but sometimes we get fines from other libraries if books are lost or damaged, things of that nature. That also falls into lost books, so it depends on if they're damaged or completely lost. That's why we have 2 separate line items. I did drop that one significantly because, again, we don't charge very often for lost books, but we have something there just in case. Pay for print, we're anticipating the income to go up because it's already gone up this year. Now that we recently installed, I believe it was, and Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, this fiscal year or the end of last fiscal year that we installed printing stations at every printer where people could pay with their credit card. We only had it at 1 previously, and so now that people have the added convenience, we are getting more income for pay for print. For the book sale, I dropped it a little bit, just given the past 3 years of pattern for book sale costs, but that is an unpredictable line. Passports we kept at $80,000. We generally make a little more than that, but it's a conservative estimate. For non-resident fees, we don't often have many non-resident cards, so we just keep enough money so in case we have the line item, we can put stuff in there. Same thing for flash drive and earbud sales. We're not seeing a lot of those anymore, but we keep it there just in case it happens. And commissions and fees, that is specifically our vending machine. So the previous vending machine vendor, we never had a deal with them to get income, so we didn't have a line item for that before. This new vendor, we do get income. We got our first check a couple months ago. So it's actually a really good partnership. Donations are unpredictable, but we dropped them because sometimes we don't get any, sometimes we get large ones. And then for miscellaneous includes makerspace item sales, and those tend to be significantly in demand, and we're really looking forward to the expansion of the makerspace. So we increased that because we're anticipating more use of the makerspace as it grows.
Carly, can I interrupt with just one quick comment?
Yes,
I see you've done an incredible amount of detailed work.
yes.
I don't know, and it's up to everybody here, but I don't know that we necessarily need you to go through every single line item, only the ones that are like big changes and stuff.
Okay.
So
So
that's
then,
up to you. If
if
you don't,
anyone has specific questions, if you look at this on the different pages, I think it would help more if you let me know where you have the big
yes,
questions.
so that's what I was thinking, that you would go through and point out the big changes, and then we would go and ask our questions on those small changes to make the same process go through more quickly.
Okay.
I want to just back up to like this part that we got first, the narrative. Like, I thought that it was really helpful to have this first, so that when we got into the numbers, we weren't like, holy cow, what's going on here? It helped very much to understand why the numbers were the way they were. I appreciate
And
that.
to add to that, this is phenomenal. This, at least for me, gave me my percentages, which I love. And then the explanation. So if I can make a request, could you like do this format instead of the original one where, you know, I asked all the questions? This would have answered this, a lot of them.
Sure. I'm glad that I was able to answer a lot of questions in advance, and I appreciate you asking questions in advance. So I can get a better format in place, so I can kind of anticipate questions a little better.
Can I start?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, on.
Well,
Yeah.
if I can interrupt for a second, if there are any things that you want to highlight from the presentation as well, can you do that first before we start asking questions?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than going line by
like he
line,
was saying.
highlighting the ones, okay, this is an important one, I want you to pay attention to this one, I changed it.
There are so many changes that it's challenging for me to determine where you would have questions based on
Okay.
what I've already explained.
Okay, that's,
Sorry about that.
yeah, no worries, okay, then, I guess we should just fire away then.
Okay, page
All right.
5, second from the bottom, information technology services and support.
Yes.
Getting new computers, which I understand needs more support for IT team. Is that a new position? Is that a consultant, or are they gonna be working overtime?
Richard, do you mind explaining that?
Sure, I added $15,000 based on the board-approved multi-year contract with the new CMS for the new website, BiblioCore. In that is an IT consultant support.
Contractual maintenance, service,
It's
something?
not under
or-
contractual
Oh, okay,
maintenance
so what's
because
CMS, please?
content management system. So we have various lines in operations as well as building maintenance. Yes, there are many building maintenance contracts in there. In terms of this, we put it under consultants because part of that cost that the board approved goes towards the actual hosting, but part of it is the web development, and so we kind of split it. And so web development ended up here and thus increased the line for the most part. There's other
And
things in there.
So this is just, it's web development.
Yeah, that's the gist of the most of the increase, so.
Fabulous.
It's
Can I
about the
make
same
a
thing.
suggestion about a format as well? Just, can we go through each section by section, and everybody asks it, like, so we'll start with salaries, and then anybody who has questions,
Oh.
do you see what I'm saying? That way
Yep,
we're
Got
knocking
it.
things
We're
out in a
not-
more
we're not
systematic.
around.
Okay.
Exactly.
All
Love
right.
it,
Love
okay.
the
Page
term.
one, any questions on
So-
page one? No, we pretty much finished
So like
that one.
revenues,
Yes.
So, yeah, so I do have a couple salaries questions, but I'll let other people fire in first. Anybody else have salaries questions? Okay, so my question, in the line for payroll division supervisors,
Yes.
you said we've been over budgeting, but we've been consistently down at least one supervisor, so you worked the best guess. Is that a best guess that includes hiring that one supervisor that we're down?
It does.
Okay, then why is it dropping if we're hiring an additional person?
So the reason why it's dropping is because we budgeted to hire up to the midpoint for the different positions that have been out, because I have the authority to do that, but
Right.
because of internal equity, we have not hired at the midpoint for anyone who has come in. And so that's one of the things that, as the board discusses overall salary approach and hiring philosophy, and as we go through benchmarking throughout this year, the board needs to determine where we're at, whether we're gonna lag the market, as we have been doing. Because like I said, we've been hiring based on internal equity. I don't wanna bring in new people at the midpoint who end up making more money than our
And I
seasoned
totally agree
supervisors.
with that.
And so that's why that line has dropped. That doesn't mean it will be that low, but that's based on the past 3 years of expenditures, including the hiring of our new supervisors.
Second question, on payroll associate 3.
Yep.
Obviously, there's a huge jump. Is that for people who are actually already hired, or that's anticipated hires?
A little bit of both.
Okay. All right.
I do have one salary question. Adjustments.
Mhm.
From 12,000 to 300,000, negotiation and benchmarking reserve.
Mhm.
Can we have a little more
Explanation.
explanation?
So what I was trying to do with the salary category in general is get to the anticipated between 60 and 70% of the budget that salaries may cost. Because we're going into union negotiations and because we're benchmarking the entire staff this fiscal year, we will not know what we're actually going to spend on these costs until we first get market rates for where we should be, and then the board determines the pay philosophy for the entire library. And so that number just got us to where salaries are at 50% of our operating budget because of the recommendation for Illinois libraries to spend up to 70% on salaries and fringe
So
benefits.
this is
and
just a
fringe benefits
squishy
on
number
top.
so
It's
that
a
we
squishy
can.
number.
I was gonna
It
say,
is.
So
it's
that we
just,
can,
yeah,
Mhm.
it doesn't necessarily mean we'll go that high.
It does not.
Okay.
It does not mean we'll go that high. It's possible that we will exceed it. I doubt that, but it is just the number that gets us to roughly 50% of our operating budget for salaries.
Why wouldn't we put this 300,000 though, disperse it among all of the categories?
I don't want to put out a false idea of where one category of employee might get a big increase, whereas another's doesn't. I've looked at market rates as far as what they were last year and our past 3 years of budget. That's where these numbers come from. And I can't, like I said, if I just dispersed it out, it could be entirely wrong. And I don't want to give the false impression either that we're gonna underpay some group of employee or overpay another group of employee.
I prefer the slushy approach.
Yeah.
Slushy their taste.
Or reserve.
Thank you. Yeah, slushy's never a real good, you know.
No, but what I mean is
I know what you're saying. I like adjustments.
the ability to adjust
To
while
be
staying within
somewhat
budget.
flexible, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, right, okay. Thank you.
For the audience out there, we're not trying to create a slush fund or anything like that.
No.
It's just a matter of, it's just a matter of having some flexibility to adjust based on our findings when we do the benchmarking. And we don't want to, as Valerie explained, we don't want to categorize those adjustment
an
factors
unknown.
because we don't know where they're going to come.
Okay,
So
I
this is
agree.
kind of a
I've
a
got
fudge
it now.
factor.
And being inflexible might come back in.
Right,
Might be
exactly.
challenging.
Yes.
Mhm.
Any other salary questions? Library materials?
I have one, I'll let others fire away.
Go
Go
for
ahead.
it.
Okay, so my one materials question is, you say circulation for downloadables has gone up 40%?
In the past 3 years.
So why are costs only going up 3,000?
So the
1%? 1.5%?
Actually, it's the two
one
lines.
point, yeah, it's both lines together, 213 plus 88.
Oh,
So
okay, okay, I
I
missed
see where that confusion
Yes.
comes in.
Oh, I got
But
it, okay.
This year, the state library has asked us to start tracking per capita expenses again and
Okay.
recommended we do it for one type of item, mainly for FOIA purposes. In case anyone gets FOIA'd, it's the easiest way to track everything.
So now it's 301, which is approximately a 46% increase or so?
I think about 43, yeah.
Sorry, I was doing the math in my head. Okay, so then it lines up with the circulation increase?
It does.
The spending
Mhm,
increase, okay, that
mhm.
makes sense. All right. So, but wait, you're saying it's gone up 40% 3 years?
In 3 years.
But now the budget is going up 43% in 1 year. So what's the year-over-year increase? Or is that because we were underfunding?
We were
Okay,
underfunding
got it.
previously,
Got
and
it,
we were
okay.
under ordering as well.
Okay.
We've now gotten a tool called Library IQ. The board voted on it 2 years ago, I think. And it makes the data a lot easier for staff to see as far as circulation. So we've been able to have more accurate ideas of what things are going out.
Okay.
And it helps us inform our
All right.
budgeting.
Yeah, those are my only questions on that.
Mine is not a question, it's just that I'm really excited about the Library of Things getting more money. I'm
We are
excited
so
to see what's
excited.
coming for that, yeah.
Yeah, we have wait lists for a lot of our
Sure.
Library of Things items. So it's gonna be really good to be able to fund it. And I'm so excited we approved the bid project.
Okay, library operating expenditures.
No questions here. I like the comment, I like the spending more on programs, which means we're doing more programs.
Mhm.
Yay, especially if they're well attended.
One of the things you said to me, Valerie, because I had asked some questions about why, the programming was increasing, because it's a lot that it's increasing, but a good point you brought up, which I've noticed at work too, is that the people who are presenting and doing the programs have raised their costs, because as we know, everything is going up, so they're charging a lot more too, and that's impacting what we have here.
It really is, and under programming and support for adult, because the programming is not divided by department, that includes digital services and adult services.
Mm.
And the digital services programs, especially with New Makerspace, are in very high demand and usually full. And so now that we'll have more space, and those are the types of programs that do cost more and provide more quality and value, because we have to buy supplies for painting projects or jewelry projects. And we already have plans to hire more like musical guests, bands and things like that. And it's a higher caliber of program that we're really excited to introduce to the community in line with other similar sized libraries.
And I also am highly in favor of the volunteer fund.
We are happy to bring back recognition for our volunteers. They do such a good job for
Yeah,
us.
they do.
That used to be covered
Mhm.
under the library friends.
Yep.
And since we currently are still trying to figure out what we're doing with that, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, general and administration questions.
On here.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yep.
General, and, okay, this is just, well, because I'm out of banking for my whole career, so when it says bank fees,
Mhm.
it's like, whoa, lots and lots of money, and I was like dumbfounded, but then when you read your notes, it's the credit cards, they're offsetting each other. So can that title be changed to reflect the notes in the description, just for more,
Clarity.
And transparency.
or I was gonna say
Would you
accuracy,
like
but,
a suggestion?
Sure.
Like processing and bank fees?
Yeah, bank
Or
and
credit
processing
card.
fees.
no,
Bank and
I'd
credit-
like
call it bank
credit
and
card to
credit.
be
Bank and
mentioned
credit card
somewhere
fees,
in
yeah.
the title.
Credit card processing fees?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's also
Yeah,
the
it
bank
sounds
fees as
perfect.
well, so.
So put a both, bank and credit card
and
processing.
banking
Bank and credit
processing.
card fees.
Yeah, that surely would be, I mean, I think it would be helpful.
Yeah,
can do
rather than
that.
just banking fees.
We
It
can
does
do
make
that for
sense.
the new fiscal year. And so it will still say this at next month's board meeting because you'll be seeing the consolidated
Oh, well, right,
income
yeah,
report, just so you
right.
know. I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
mentioning
you're
that,
gonna
but
switch it
yeah.
at July
July
first, so
1st.
everything goes
Yeah.
forward.
Sounds good.
But there are certain statutory reports that the library has to have through like Fifth Third, and so those fees are in there as well.
Oh, well, yeah,
But
I get it.
the most is the credit card ones.
Okay, vehicle operation.
No questions. I'm guessing gas has gone up.
It has.
Oh, really?
There's this little war thing
Guessing,
going on.
huh?
Well, maybe not anymore,
Well,
Well,
we'll
it-
see.
hopefully.
Kind of dropping, but then all of a sudden, oh, it's going up again. So it's like, I just,
Mm-hmm.
when do you really fill up your tank? It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Plus,
Exactly.
we are keeping it the same, but we are doing more programming and more
Well, you-
outreach.
Yes,
And so
correct, right.
that,
The
mo-
vehicle is
a lot of it translates into the van and buying that gas, and it's only gas for the van, it's not reimbursements.
I would,
Like
I would,
Okay.
I would
That was
say
a
that
different
maybe
line
we
item.
should increase that gas line budget.
I believe it's okay at this point, we'll see and then determine, I mean, going over a budget is not the end of the world, it's what we're
And
trying
there
to
is some
project.
flexibility in there.
Well, and the appropriations are double what the
Yes,
budget
Yes.
is,
so
so it
it's-
will be
yeah.
within
I know,
there.
because that's what a former board member always used to tell us.
Okay, employee fringe benefits.
Yes.
Overall come down, I think that's great.
Yeah, but I have a question on life, LTD, AD&D, and STD.
Yes.
I'm not, well, I guess it doesn't make sense to me, the notes. More staff, possible more usage,
Mhm.
also based on recent trends of use of short-term disability. Even if the short-term, in my mind, and please help me out, if the short-term disability is being used more, I don't think the price you're paying per person is gonna go up. It's going to be paid from them, the short-term disability company.
When we have more usage, their rates go up, just like any other, like if you file a claim
Oh.
with your car insurance, that's
Right.
what
But
possibly is
haven't we
happening.
already set this in stone with, okay, I only know, the woman that passed away when they,
Mhm.
Abby, not,
With
but
Amy.
Amy.
Yep.
I mean, aren't we set here and then,
Insurance.
I will double check
Yes.
with her. Yeah, I will double check with her and make sure.
oh, and
6 months.
okay, and then something else, I wanted to go back and look to see what was like trending
Mhm.
for, I also found this for the FSA fee. There's no month actual, there's no year-to-date actual on the income consolidated statement.
Mhm.
And the same with life, long-term, accidental, and short-term.
Mhm.
Nothing, like, so you wouldn't, there's no percentage here that we could have looked at.
Mhm.
Can we fix that, or
We can.
do?
We have to put, for the next fiscal year, when they put in whatever the approved budget is, that's where we fix that. But I will talk to Lisi about seeing if we can get it fixed for the final, consolidated income report of the year as well.
That'd be nice to see,
Mhm.
because, other ones too are not calculating for annual percentage, but I never really paid attention to that until I saw the blank spaces here.
Sure.
All right,
Thanks, Kathy.
welcome.
My understanding of the FSA fee, and I could be wrong, but my understanding of the FSA fee was a fee to implement the debit cards for this year, because we didn't used to have debit cards for implementing the FSA, and staff had requested them. So we had a one-time, it was a very small implementation fee.
All right, now, I don't really like saying this, but back in the day, we would pay a service fee every month
Mhm.
to the old carrier or company. So I don't know what's going on now.
So aren't these one-time fees?
Yeah, it's a
Did that happen in
one-time,
June?
I believe it's a
So
once
they're
a
not
year
gonna
fee.
show until the July consolidated.
I will make sure with Lisi, but it might be an end of the year fee.
It's the same with like our insurance for the car. The insurance in the car happens in June, so you're gonna see like negative, we haven't paid, because everything gets broken up monthly, by 12.
Mhm.
And so you can see 12, 12, 12.
My little
The
light bulb
percentage is gonna
brighter.
be empty because
See,
it hasn't
there
been
was a
paid.
reason we invited him, right?
It's nice to be
Oh,
invited.
thank you so much.
Usually in the corner behind the
I,
monitor.
and you look so much
Where
better
Josh
sitting
is.
in
Hi,
that seat.
Thank you,
Sure.
that, I
Yeah.
mean, yep,
Done.
okay,
Seat
we
at
got
the
that
table.
All
one.
right, anything else on this page? Finish page 7.
Mm-mm.
So utilities audit, liability, social security. Oh, yeah, one question on social security.
Yes.
So you estimated social security to increase by 15.21%.
Mhm.
and salaries are increasing by 11.81%. So wouldn't we estimate that Social Security is gonna go up the same amount as salaries, or shouldn't it be 11.81%?
What I was told is that the rate for Social Security may be going up, like the actual,
really?
yeah, that's what I've heard.
Okay.
So that's, and I don't know if it's true, but
Better to be safe than sorry.
yeah.
Okay. Then that's, okay.
Okay, page 8.
I have a building and equipment maintenance. So the repairs and improvements, you went from 100 to 365, and that's basically a map. It's an allocation map based on the explanation, right? I think for a better,
I'm not sure I follow.
so it, you know, the note says that Valerie asked you to move items that are standard annual repairs into this line and out of special reserves, because having everything in special reserves case that creates a falsely low operational budget. Items moves into this line, and she gives examples, right?
Right.
Now, my take is this is kind of a 6 of one, half dozen of the other, because so right now the revenues are 9.57, right? And the budget is 9.26. So there's that $300,000 gap. At the end of the year, you either have to give that money back or you have to stick it in special reserves. If we took this extra 265, and we put it into special reserves funding, and then and then now we have a bigger gap.
Yep.
And we have to put that money in special reserve. We just spent more out of special reserve, so it's really just an accounting issue. And I kind of feel like if we've been doing it a certain way for a long time, even if they're regular maintenance repairs, if they are qualified for special reserve expenses, my argument would be that they should go into special reserve and not be in the operational side.
We would be comfortable taking it out of special reserves. The reason for doing it this way was both for the board and for the public to have a better understanding that the percentages, like for example, if we're talking about the standards for Illinois Public Libraries are that salaries are a certain percentage of the operating budget, but the operating budget is falsely low because we're not taking into account that standard repairs are actually part of operating budget, even though we have special reserves to pull from, it makes those percentages off. And it's harder to explain why salaries should be this percentage, or if you're looking at percentages. That's why we decided to do this, for the
Okay.
sake of transparency.
So, but then the flip transparency is we're showing a 14.85% increase in the budget, but that's not the actual increase. The actual increase is much lower than that because you're changing the accounting. So one or the other is gonna shift. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, and the overall budget that we spend, regardless of whether it's showing in operating or special reserves, will end up being the same.
Right,
And
yeah,
it's
the no-
based on the income, so I do hear what you're saying, and we can move either way. I was just trying to make it easier to explain.
I appreciate, and I
It
very
is-
much appreciate the explanation.
Yeah.
I just, my philosophy would be to go in the other direction.
I was gonna
because-
say, wouldn't this normally, I mean, yes, you're saying it would come out of special reserve, so what you're saying is no longer?
We can do either one, whatever
Richard?
the board's preference is.
What do you prefer?
Do you think?
It's really not a preference for me. I understand the philosophy behind it, because it doesn't affect me either way. What it does is affect the overall budget and the percentages for like salaries and spending on materials, because those are based on the entirety of the budget. So the entirety of the budget, meaning the operating budget, if we are taking things that could possibly be under building and maintenance and putting them into special reserve, then we're, as Valerie had indicated, we're kind of under spending or under budgeting the operating funds, and thus the percentages, even though it's 60 to 70% for salaries, and what
May I have your attention, please?
we
The
left
library will
the
be
program
closing in
earlier today.
15 minutes.
So we'll let
If you need to make arrangements for a ride, please do so now.
Hold on one second. Yep, there we go.
Thank you.
And so materials, correct me, it's,
Materials is recommended at between 8 to 12% of the operating budget.
so say 8% off of 6 million, but if we're actually 5.5, well, now we're lowering everything else.
But there's still a range, right? It's still 8 to
Sure.
12, so if, as long as we're in the
Right,
range.
right,
we're
so,
still good,
but that
right?
was one of the reasons that when we had this discussion, Valerie asked, are there things that we can move into that? We've also not been levying, I believe, on that, because we have a negative in that account. So we've been under funding that account, which is also just a financial, accounting type of thing.
Yeah.
So, but that was brought to our attention, or to the board's attention, a couple meetings ago. So,
Yeah.
again, from my facility, because this is mostly facility in this particular case, it really doesn't matter. I am going to come to the board based on what either the policies of the board are or the statutes of Illinois. So 10,000 or and above, I'm gonna come, take it to, or under 10,000 to Valerie, over 10,000 to the board. If it's over 25 and it's not pre-bid and it needs to go to bid, we're gonna take it to bid, and that type of stuff. And we're at the end of the day, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna present like we did today, whether the pre-bid and that. And if you notice, I usually write, it's coming out of special reserve, it's coming out of whatever fund. And you'll read that sometimes, maybe you won't. But at the end of the day, it's a accounting thing. So I am happy to make sure that, we are moving things that affect the larger budget more appropriately, so.
And so like special things that are big, that need to be done, are special reserve still?
Yeah, I mean, and special doesn't mean big, it means like one-off, usually.
Yeah, something that.
So like I
don't
put in
give all the
special
time.
reserve, and I sent the detail over as requested, $10,000 in shades, to get additional shades and youth services. It's not under, repairs and improvements, it could be, we could have chosen to move that there, but it's still in special reserve. So you can move these around as the board,
We could play musical.
right. Ultimately, it's really about
Musical
the general philosophy of how much should be appropriate for this size institution, based on Illinois
For
standards and that
operations.
for operations in the building and repair, the general, because, repairs and improvements, and that's just one line, there's a lot of other lines in here, but they're all under the building and equipment maintenance, and it's a separate fund, it's levied separately, and I'm gonna
Thanks,
stop
Richard.
talking now.
Yes,
Thank you.
I appreciate it, all your answers. Do you have any others, Umar?
No, that was the main.
That was page 8. Page 9 is the total operating budget. Proposed is $9,261,136. And then we move into, I haven't been able to read that comment yet, let's see. All right, I'm actually gonna just read this out into the meeting.
Good.
So the proposed operating budget is 3.4% below anticipated income. This reflects a conservative budgeting approach that maintains a modest operating margin to accommodate inflationary cost increase, unforeseen expenses, and other budget variances that may arise during the fiscal year. Given that long-term inflation has typically averaged 2 to 3% annually and that the library has historically underspent in several budget categories, the budget provides reasonable fiscal flexibility while still directing the vast majority of anticipated revenues towards enhanced library services, long overdue facility improvements, and efforts to stabilize staffing levels and compensation so they are competitive with the local market. I thought that was
Thank
a
you.
great comment, yeah.
Yep, agree.
So then special reserve, building, equipment, construction, project is a 0.
Special reserve building, just
Yeah.
the notes are we gonna assume it's just everything that we're doing with the lower level, et cetera, and?
So,
That's part of it, and I also gave you another handout,
Because that was my question earlier today, and this is an
and it has
answer.
the detailed list of everything that's in special reserves.
So that was.
it was on your table, actually.
Yeah, I had it.
Yeah? Oh,
There's a
yeah.
lot of paper.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
And I have extras if anybody needs.
Unfortunately, I
I'm
put
good.
the other
I,
thing on top of
all
it.
So the short answer to that is no, that's not the only thing that's in here,
Yeah, C sheet.
yes.
So that's 2,709,538 in that yellow highlight, I believe. is what the resolution was tonight, and that's what the budget reflects here. And there's a little bit of an asterisk there, saying that the CMR AV replacement, although it's under the construction budget, it's actually budgeted under the equipment. So at the end, I have it subtracted out in order to provide the $3,697,000 budget line.
So all these laptops that are end of life, that they're on Windows 10 and cannot be upgraded to 11?
Right, so the special reserve equipment side, yeah, there is staff shared laptops as well as supervisor laptops that we did not replace last year, and the patron laptops that are for checkout. Yeah.
Huddle Nooks? Really?
Oh, those are,
Patty, that's what you've been asking.
oh,
Yes.
they have them in Grove, right?
They have them in,
Oh.
in Glenview, but the first place I saw them was Helen Plum. Helen Plum, since it's a brand new, I was gonna say museum, library, they're actually built in, where the other places, they're they're movable. And those are totally cool,
Oh, it is.
especially if you have
Freestanding
kids
thing where you
that
can
are on the
2%
spectrum, they're
or
perfect.
4%.
Yeah.
Study. You
It's
can go in there with your kid.
Yeah, they're
You know,
portable
it's-
study rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some, like at Helen Plum, where
I'll
it was
take
like a couch,
Take your word for it.
like
Yeah,
in a
in the
little
wall.
nook where you could sit, you know, the kid, if you need downtime. Or they have them where they're like little tables where they could sit with somebody and work on projects. They're very, very cool.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that was gonna be budgeted, because I've seen them at a couple libraries, like I say, and they're cool.
And they're actually pretty soundproof. Like I've tried them out at ALA before and they're pretty
Well,
soundproof.
yeah, they're padded.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're cool. I know the ones, I didn't see the ones at the library you were saying, but at Glenview, they're like a wood
Mm-hmm.
that is movable, and they have the, yeah. We're not building a whole new library, so we can't build them in like Helen Plum. But, yeah, they're cool.
This is require a little bigger budget.
Yeah, which we don't need, thank you. We're gonna probably hear it about this one.
And this special reserve, yeah, this is all money that we have saved. and
Yes.
Yeah.
Holding on to for things exactly like this, so.
So the board would need to transfer over additional funds
Okay.
from operating reserves
Mhm.
into special reserve in order to accommodate this particular budget, which the board is already scheduled to do
Right.
based on the presentation and the minimums and
Mhm.
we've got to review that now, but
For the next meeting related to the budget, does the board request any large changes to this recommended budget that I should work on with the accountant and or the financial advisor?
The only request I have is the shift, but that'll be based on the majority.
Pertaining to the special
to-
reserve
yeah,
and the
yeah.
other
Yeah,
budget,
that's
or
my
the
only
other.
request, but that'll be decided by the majority. I think we'll discuss that.
yeah, you can see here, I have it pointed out on the first page, the
Yeah.
green.
I saw.
And then there is, at the very bottom of the page, the parking lot main.
Yeah.
Those are the only things that we had moved over,
So
so
for that,
255.
Yeah, let's just decide that right now.
should I have two different,
No, we can
No,
decide
why don't we
it.
just
We can decide
now,
now.
yeah, so,
I would just like to leave it as it is, if that's how they're comfortable with working with it.
Well, Rich said he's fine either way.
so it's up to us.
yeah,
What do
so
the
it's up
six
to
of
us.
us decide?
And my take is, you know, if we're concerned about how the public understands this, I want the public to be able to compare apples to apples, compare last year's budget under the same terms that they're looking at this year's budget. I don't want us to change our accounting math and have the public,
It's not accounting, it's just,
it is in a sense, it's just
But
accounting.
if it was in a place that it didn't really belong, or is better
Moving,
suited
it's
to being.
helpful to see the right amount in the operational budget so you can do your percentages correctly for like what Illinois says, 70 of this and something of that and
I
something
mean,
of
like I
that.
said,
It's
that's,
more
that's
of
my
a-
opinion, and if
True.
the
Oh, yeah.
majority decides otherwise.
I'll tell you this, so it's been a long-standing practice that inside of the building fund, we did contractual, non-contractual, obviously contractual we can plan. Some of the non-contractual is also planned, it's just non-contractual. Repairs and improvements, that usually was kind of like an emergency, but not to the degree where we needed to take it out of special reserve, unbudgeted, but because that was the pool of money. This would be planning for things in that building fund without putting them also in, special reserve. We've always put everything in the special reserve, and those planned repairs, planned improvements, just kind of capitated
Automatically.
auto there. In a lot of places, and it's recommended that you do that as part of the regular building operating fund. So that's the reason we had made that decision this year. So I don't know if that helps or muddies the water
you know
even more.
what? If
but-
it makes us where, like you say, it's easier as far as the state looks at us and says, hey, okay, this makes more sense because you're doing it like other libraries, then you know what, let's do it.
Rich, if the Western Specialty was in this budget, would it be in that line item there? Repairs and
Again, we
improvements?
can go through this and make that determination.
No, I'm just saying, if it were,
Yeah, I
is
mean,
that where it
we
would
could
fall?
we could easily put, instead of like these, the humidifier and the hot water, we can put the Western Specialty building envelope.
Yes,
But-
that would fall
oh,
under
It
that
would
line,
fall, it
yeah.
would fall under it.
Okay, and that's my question, because I think the 100,000 is like really artificially low
Yep.
for something, so I don't think,
That's why we made.
I
Where in the heck?
I agree 100% that.
I mean, you've
it should
seen
be-
other institutions and how they do it, and we're
Yes,
trying to do that, because, again, it's been a long-standing practice that it's just been pushed into special reserve, and not budgeted and not levied, and just that, and now it's not even, it's negative 400 or something like
I
that.
can't remember the
Yeah,
exact
from the
numbers.
presentation, I'm like, okay, so,
And
and that's an accounting thing. to
And
just
by
put-
doing it that way, one thing I have seen in the past, which I know I'm not supposed to bring up the past, was people didn't understand all of that stuff came out of special reserves, and they would all say, hey, how much money do you need in special reserves? Well, we did, because that's how we used it.
Mhm.
We're now doing it this way,
When we have that capital improvement assessment, so that also aligns more with just the idea of planning and long-term strategic site foresight.
We're also playing some catch-up, so.
you using mustard also?
So, not an
I knew
official
you'd
vote,
appreciate
but
it.
who wants to keep it like this? Is that's three,
Meaning,
like I have proposed it like this, as
Okay.
opposed to moving stuff into special reserves. Okay, that's majority of who's here,
Okay.
so,
That's fine.
Any other questions, comments, discussion about the budget? Okay,
So we're gonna vote on the budget
next month.
next month?
Yeah, so now we just close out of regular and go in,
We
or,
have to have a motion to go into closed
Yeah.
session.
yeah.
So we'll have the public
Yeah.
hearing.
gotta
okay,
find my
I
motion
move
before-
to go into
on the same night?
executive
yeah,
session
the same night.
to
half hour
discuss the
before.
employment
So just so that
or
we're-
the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
8:30.
Here we go.
All right.
All right, we are back in open session at 9:16 PM. To take a roll call.
Roll.
Well, sorry. She's gonna do it.
9:16.
I couldn't find it on the paper, sorry.
Trustee Sheeler,
Present.
trustee Kadir,
Here.
trustee Schoenfeld,
Here.
treasurer Patel, absent with prior notice, secretary Toy,
Here.
vice president Rosansky.
Here.
President Keene.
Here. Okay, so we have an action from closed session. Sorry. Yes? I move to increase the salary of the executive director 6.3% to $139,295 effective July 1st, 2026.
I second.
Oops.
Do we,
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll be right with you.
I was gonna say, because this is other, so we do, I'm not other, this is action.
Trustee Sheeler,
Yes.
trustee Kadir,
Yes.
trustee Schoenfeld.
Yes.
Treasurer Patel, absent with prior notice, secretary Toy,
Yes.
vice president Rosansky.
Yes.
President Keene.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you. So
What's the decimal point number?
6.3%.
No.
139,000, oh, yes?
139295.
2929.
No decimal.
.00.
Yeah, no decimal.
Oh,
They confused me. I'm like,
never mind.
The decimal is the cents. Are we going that
No.
pity?
No,
Oh, never mind.
just to spite me.
And 2 cents.
Yeah.
All right, so I do have an other. I would like to call Cassandra to the table. Just come sit, so we can thank you for your, what's 3 years?
3 years.
3 years that you've been here with us. We are grateful for all the work you've done
Mm-hmm.
and the laughter you've brought.
We had some laughs, I mean, we did.
And we all wish you the very best and are
Thank
excited
you.
for your future prospects.
Woo, thank you very much. It was an honor to serve. It was an honor to get the first contract off the ground. And I learned, so much. I really did. It was a hell of a ride. And I will never forget Niles. And that goes to the community and the staff at large. It's been a great honor, and I'm very excited for what comes next. But I would have never gotten there without this first. So I'm incredibly grateful, and thank you all for your service as well and for showing me the ropes. So I appreciate it. And thank you, Valerie, so much for your service and for your development, and Victoria as well. I learned a great deal from you ladies, and I'm excited to carry that into my next chapter. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna miss seeing you over there cracking up all the time. I
You
guess
say
I'll
funny
survive.
things.
I'll survive.
I will miss it too, Patty. It will not be as fun. I said, no, just kidding. No, thank you all very much.
We're gonna try and bring her back for staff day, so. If she
An
can.
outside consultant.
We're as an outside
Yes.
consultant, yep. I have one more thing for other.
Okay.
We got an email that I did send to the board, but just because it's coming up next week, there is a legislative breakfast that is being hosted by the Chamber of Commerce. So if anyone is interested in
Okay.
attending, please let me know. That's the 25th,
Thursday morning,
Thursday.
8 to 10 at Rosemont.
At Rosemont, are you going?
Depends on if no one else is going.
Oh, so you won't go
Depends on the
if, you
time.
won't go unless no one else is going?
I mean, I would be happy to have let someone else have a chance.
I've done them before, but
You don't have to make the decision
I
now.
I don't know. I have to look at my
Not putting anyone on the
calendar.
spot, just if you think you want to go, let Valerie know and she'll get you all signed up, so.
And I didn't run this past you, I apologize, but we're going to the American Library Association conference next week where our president, Becky Keene, is receiving a trustee citation award for her service for leading this board.
good things going on.
Were you able to bring the kids?
Yes.
Good. Nice.
We'll be there.
Yes.
All right. Okay,
Does anyone else have other?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nine
Wait, who
twenty-one.
moved?
9:21.
Who moved? Was it you?